Hey, Suzanne here, and I just want to explain to you really quickly how thresholds work. And the best way I've always done this with my patients is to explain how allergies work. Most of us have allergies, so we can understand a threshold level. So bear with me. I'm going to talk about allergies first, and then I'm going to get to what a stress threshold is, okay? And how we deal with it, and how we raise the level of our threshold. Okay, so people come in the office all the time, and they would say to me, you know, my Claritin or my Allegra is not working anymore. I'm having symptoms now. I didn't have them anymore, so it stopped working. In truth, that wasn't really true. So what we have is something called a threshold. And this threshold shows us that, and I hope you can see it, anything above the threshold will give us symptoms of allergies, make us miserable with the stuffy nose, the runny eyes, the sneezing, and all of that, okay? But here's the pollen. So the pollen sits down here, and the pollen does this. Now, we have a natural threshold. Let's say our natural threshold is right here. So when people come in the office, patients come in the office and say, I have terrible allergies, what they're doing is the pollen is hitting over the threshold, and they're experiencing these symptoms here. So what Claritin and Allegra and all the others do is it's going to raise your threshold up to here. So now you no longer feel this pollen, these pollen symptoms anymore, the runny nose, etc. All right. Now they come in and they say, the Claritin isn't working anymore. Well, in truth, it really is still working. The problem is we have an incredible spring or an unseasonable spring, and now the pollen is doing something like this, and it's peaking over the Claritin threshold. So what we typically do in that case is most physicians, well, many physicians, depending on your doctor, would give you another pill to add on top of the Claritin. Stay on the Claritin, but add another pill on top of it that would raise your threshold even higher, and you no longer experience symptoms. Once the pollen has gone down and the season has ended for whatever you're allergic to, I had my patients so well trained that they knew what they were allergic to, and they watched the pollen count for that particular plant or whatever it was. Then they could back down to the Claritin level or the Allegra, whatever they were on, and then they could even sometimes go down back to this one because this is what their pollen was doing. So they weren't experiencing symptoms. I hope that makes sense. Now, let's talk about the stress level. Same idea. We have a natural stress level. And let's say that looks like this. And then we get stressors in our lives. And our stressors can be whatever our parents or our loved ones are up to. But then they do this. And as they age, these become more and more. We have to raise our stress threshold. How do we do that? So we're going to raise it from here to here. Because we don't want to burn out, we love our loved one, we want to take care of them, we need to deal with these stressors. Now we know that the only constant in life is change. We know these stressors are eventually going to go away somehow, but they may change to different stressors we might have. So how do we handle this stress? We raise the threshold. How do we do it? We do it with things like yoga. We do it with journaling. We do it with talking to somebody, talking to friends or a professional counselor. We talk about taking a vacation, getting help. These are all the things, getting help. These are all the things that are going to raise our ability to handle so we don't start dealing with the symptom of burnout. I hope that helps, and especially when somebody like this past week, like you deal with every day, does something unexpectedly or unknown or dangerous. It's a stressor. There's no doubt about it. And we have to deal with this threshold here. Raise it so we cannot make mistakes like, like I did, like running the pool overflow, or keeping the garage door open, or not finding my keys, or getting in an automobile accident, or any of the other things that we do because we're overworked and we're exhausted. And this level is not working anymore, and the stress is beyond it. We have to bring it down using these things. I hope that helps. And have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Take care.